Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, consider this video right now. Hold on one second, guys. I'm getting my charger. But consider this video right here, you know, the final thoughts video for Devin Haney versus George Kambosos Jr. You know, I'm very excited about this fight. And for good reason. And by the way, make sure you guys go get your Canelo Exposed by Bivol t-shirts on Teespring. That, along with other custom shirts I'm making as we go along in boxing. The Teespring link, the Teespring store link will be in the description. Let the Canelo Alvarez fans know the day that he wasn't who they thought he was when he fought Bivol. But anyway, consider this my final thoughts video for this fight. Now, a lot's been made of the weight, the weight miss by George Kambosos Jr. You know, George Kambosos Jr. talked a whole lot of shit, talked a whole big game, and he couldn't even do so much as make the weight, which is, in my opinion, the bare minimum he should have been doing. Now, look, boxing, I'm going to quote Punch Drunk Boxing because I saw his tweet, so shout out to Punch Drunk Boxing, but boxing is the den of thieves, and, you know, there's a lot of corruption that goes on in boxing. We know that. So when people talk about all this professionalism, be a professional, you know, what does that really mean? Guys have missed weight countless times in countless fights, and by the time the fight happens, nobody remembers that they missed weight unless they lost their title on the scale. That's really the truth. But it still looks bad on George, and he made a complete ass of himself when he said that it was the art of deception, the art of war, and he took a piss to lose the weight. You know, it looked really bad on him, and now, as someone who was picking him for the fight, all right, I am a believer in George Kambosos Jr. I'm a lot less confident than I was 48 hours ago. And you know, now with Devin Haney getting his father back in his corner and things like that, I'm gonna quote my boy Felipe. Shout out to my boy Felipe. You know, this might be that moment in his life, in his boxing career, where he takes out that proverbial Xcaliber sword and he just cuts George Kambosos into 1,000 pieces because George Kambosos Jr. might have been underestimating Haney. Maybe George Kambosos Jr. cut some corners in training. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this. I'm going to tell you guys a little story, and you guys can make of this what you will. Now, for those that have followed George Kambosos Jr.'s career, you guys would know that I think his last 4 or 5 training camps prior to this fight, he's done them all in South Florida, in Davie, Florida, at the Centennial Sweatbox Gym. Okay, he got away from Australia. He's been training in South Florida, away from everybody he knows and everything he loves, and it's created the man who's become the unified champion today in boxing. Right now, I remember clearly, this was Jojo Diaz, Devin Haney, a fight week, and I remember George Kambosos Jr. was in the media room. Right, he was in the media room. And I remember I had crossed paths with George Kambosos Jr. in the media room. And so, you know, I'm over there talking to Jim Kambosos. I'm talking to George a little bit. I'm making some friendly conversation. You know, I asked George playfully, like, you know, I know you trained in South Florida. You went to the Heat game the other day. You know, could we claim you as an honorary South Floridian? He said, yeah. He said, yeah, you could. And I was like, cool. And then I remember I had asked him about when he's coming back to train in South Florida, right? And he told me at that time that he wasn't coming back to South Florida to train no more, that he's going to build his own gym in Australia, and that he's not doing training in South Florida no more. So my eyebrows kind of raised when I heard that, because now you're not even a week removed from the title, and now you're going to start changing things in your preparation that have gotten you to the point where you want to be at just to be comfortable? No. A champion and someone great in life has to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's what training in South Florida did for George Kambosos Jr. He never missed weight one time. When he fought Lee Selby, he didn't miss weight. When he fought Teofimo Lopez, he didn't miss weight. When he fought, you know, all these other guys, Mickey Bay, he never missed weight. Ray Perez, all these other guys, he never missed weight. But now, all of a sudden, the first training camp where he's not in South Florida, he misses weight. Albeit it is by 0.3 pounds, but was never an issue when he trained in South Florida. So now I'm wondering, I'm starting to ask questions of George, like, man, did you really take this fight and did you really leave no stones unturned? You know, I have those questions now. Devin Haney's gotten a big mental boost now because his dad has arrived in the country. So really, I don't know I have no clue what to tell you guys about this fight anymore. I don't know. Part of me, I'm kind of leaning towards Devin now. To be honest with you, I'm kind of leaning a bit towards Devin, just because, you know, if he is even slightly off, if he really cut even the slightest bit of corners in this camp than he did in the Lopez fight, then I think Devin's going to win this fight. I think Devin's going to find a way to land that right hand, and he's going to be landing it for frequently. And he's going to be able to box him from the outside and win whenever he feels like it, which is crazy because for those of you who follow me on Instagram, I did a whole film study on my stories the other day, and I was talking about why I think George will win. And I think George can still win. It really is anybody's fight to win or lose. You know, the fight will be won today. It wasn't won yesterday. It'll be won today. But, you know, I had these questions about George and his preparation just because of this being his first training camp away from South Florida in a long time. He's in Australia now. You know, not a good look. Really isn't a good look. And like Felipe said, this may be the day that Devin Haney pulls out the Xcaliber sword and just pierces George Kambosos right through George Kambosos' soul and beats the brakes off him. So just not what I wanted to see as someone that was a believer in Kambosos. But look, what a great a couple of mental confidence boosters for Devin Haney. You know, the league started off not going in his favor, and as it went on, it seems to be swinging more in his favor. And Devin didn't necessarily. I don't think Devin necessarily needed a mental confidence boost. I think Devin showed enough confidence already just taking the fight and going to Australia. But it certainly doesn't hurt him. Devin Haney for a long time has been talked about as one of the best boxers in this country that this country has to offer. And people here on YouTube and around the world have been banging the Devin Haney drum for a long time. And rightfully so. Devin carries himself very well. He's a true professional. And he's always a student of the game. You know, if you just talk to Devin about boxing, not even himself, just about boxing and some of the guys that he likes to watch. You know, he's a big Roman Gonzalez fan. So you know he knows about boxing if he knows about him. One of his favorite fighters is apparently Joe Louis. So he's very well schooled. He loves this sport. He doesn't come from a broken background like most fighters. He was a rich kid. He did have money coming up. You know, he did have his 15th and 16th birthday at the Palms. You can see it on Real Devin Haney TV. But he's someone that lived in the gym, and he loves boxing. And he's not doing this because he has to do it. He's doing it because he wants to do it. And he's done it at a very high level for a long time. And this could be his moment where he goes from a boy all the way to a full-fledged man right before our eyes. So a lot of intriguing storylines going into the fight. If I had to make a pick, you know, I'm someone that, for better or for worse, when I make an original pick, I normally stick to it. And this will be no different. So for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you would know that I actually had George Kambosos by late stoppage in this fight. I'm going to stick with George Kambosos Jr., but it's not by as conclusive as an outcome anymore. I'm gonna go with George Kambosos Jr. by split decision. I think George Kambosos Jr. wins his 4th straight split decision and gets over the hump in Devin Haney in maybe a controversial fight. I think Devin probably wins the fight in the court of public opinion, but leaves it close enough to where the judges can rob him, and they will. So I'm gonna go with George Kambosos Jr. by controversial split decision as he retains the titles, and they set up a big money rematch in Australia next. But yeah, these are my final thoughts on Haney versus Kambosos. Give me your final thoughts down below, and I will see you guys on the live fight reaction. Make sure you guys join, and I'll see you there. Should be a great time. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers, so make sure you take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button, and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God.